Heya Duck! So today I am doing a full set. I do love cracking out a full set, to be honest with you. We have got ballerina tips on. I know that some of you will say that they are coughing, but you know how I feel about that word. Nobody died. Okay? So we're going to call them ballerina. I do like to give them a little bit of a pinch to make them extra slim. I wish I could pinch myself and make me extra slim. That would be nice, but doesn't quite
I
work.
wish I could do that at the moment. Chop bits off, please.
Oh, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Anybody want to give me some lipo? So, we're going to blend the tip though, so it's important. Some people just put the tips on, then whack the product on, but that will actually create a stress area because of the thickness of the tip. Even if your tip's super thin, you need to give that a quick blending. So I've blended it in, and then I'm using the cleanup solution to clean that up and also dehydrate the nail. And then I'm going to prime because we're going to use acrylic, which I obviously love. I am obsessed with acrylic. So I'm going to use the colour Burlesque for this sort of free edge, will you say? Anything that I use that's kind of a nudie colour, we're going to use Burlesque in this set. So I'm just placing that on and doing lateral length at the moment. And then I am going to do the cuticle area and that mid-length, creating the apex. So this nail is going to have a full gel polish design on it. That's why the full structure of it is just going to be done with Burlesque. And that's it. Super easy, 2-bead application. Lateral length first, because that is the most distal point from the finger, so it will have less heat. And then you do that cuticle sort of midsection area with your second bead, making sure you create the apex.
I just noticed the brush in there. One of our old brushes.
Oh my God,
the first one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the lilac one. We don't like the pink and lilac ombre one. We don't even sell them anymore, do we?
I know, yeah. But I suppose it just shows you how good that brush is, because it's
oh my God,
you're
it's
still using
so
it
long.
after like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and our new brushes are just a different handpiece. It's exactly the same brush itself. We've just redesigned the handpiece because everybody's obsessed with the rose gold and the crystals. So we were like, okay, you can have the rose gold. So all the brushes have got the rose gold design. Now for this nail, this middle finger, we're going to create a smile line. So I work on that cuticle and mid-length area straight away to do the smile line. The reason we do that is because I'm going to file the smile line, and by filing the smile line, it's going to help me create a really crisp, neat smile line. So you have to obviously do this part first. It's called a reverse application, and the reason it's called a reverse application is because we're not doing the free edge first. We are doing the cuticle area and that mid-length section. Once that's sort of set up, you can then go in with, you could use a 100 grit file or you could use a 150 grit file just to neaten that up. And it'll help you, because if you think, oh, one side's a bit wonky, because, you know, things don't always go to plan, you can get that file in there and you can file it nice and crisp. You'll notice that I'm using the straight side of the file. I'm not using the curved side of the file. I use the curved side of the file to do that cuticle area. And then I leave the straight side so I can get this sort of smile line nice and crisp.
I've got a question to ask you. It's actually from somebody else.
Go on.
Yeah, so because obviously these are your client videos, one thing that we get asked quite a lot on the channel is, can you share some tips for building a strong and loyal clientele?
God, I've answered this question in a magazine actually. So strong and loyal clientele starts with making it very easy to book in with you, for one. So having a booking system like Booksy, for instance, makes it easy, and it's quite personable as well because you get the personal reminders and all that. And that's getting the foot through the door. Once you've got the foot through the door, you want to keep hold of that client. So keeping hold of that client can be easy and hard all at the same time. It's easy because if your environment is right and they are happy with the environment, they feel comfortable, they feel listened to, they feel valued, because you do listen to them and you create good work, they will still come back. And then tie that in with a booking system, your booking system. It has all the marketing tools that remind a client. So like Booksy has a thing where it reminds your client if they've gone longer than 4 weeks for their appointment. It's called slipping away. So if you've got clients that are slipping away, you can actually reach out to them and do like a sort of text blast, and it'll just remind those clients that you're still there and like, hello, you need to get booked in. And, you know, because life sort of gets in the way with people. Especially me. I think, oh my God, my nails need filling. When did I last do them? And it could be 4 weeks, and it could even be longer, and it hasn't felt that long. So, you know, it's being reminded, because the way of life at the minute, everybody's very, very busy. But that environment is so important. And if somebody comes and has a great experience and they feel good, then they'll return. Does that answer it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And always, if you're doing any posts on like Instagram, social media, always tag the area that you're in, because then
I noticed that a lot. People don't actually, they say, oh, is there any nail techs in my area?
Yeah.
And then they don't say where they're at.
Exactly. So if you're reaching out for nail techs, or if you are trying to get your clientele busier, then always, you know, tag your area, because then it'll push that post out to people that actually live in your local area. Because there's no point somebody, you know, if you live in England and it goes out to somebody in Scotland or America, you know, it's not going to do its job, is it? So the colour that I'm putting on here is London by Night, and then I'm going in with Kamila. So Kamila's like this sort of purpley plum colour, but the oh my God, I've just said it. What's it called? By Night? London by Night. As your glitter particles, and it's like a flash gel. And it's quite a nice combination, this sort of like tealy blue with this sort of deep purple. Very autumnal, but quite striking as well, because I think the contrast between the two colours is really, really nice. So I pop them on. So we're doing a combo of acrylic and gel polish. Now make sure I'm wiping off the sticky layer, because if I'm going to do acrylic over the top of this, I need to make sure I wipe off the sticky layer, and then I'm going to buff that surface so it's not shiny, because you don't ideally want to be putting acrylic on top of the shiny surface because you don't want it to pop off. I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's not really going to pop off, but we're kind of making sure that we have better adhesion because it's going onto a matte surface, like an abrased surface, rather than a shiny surface, if that makes sense. And then I use Nebula, which is a flash gel from Nailchemy, but top news. I mean, it might be top secret, actually. Oh, I'm just going to say it anyway. We've got our very own Cat Jobos is coming, and they are insane. So look out for them. So excited about them.
You're no good at keeping secrets, are you?
And do you know what? The ducklings on my subscription, on Instagram subscription, they always said to me, I don't think you are very good at keeping secrets, Kirsty.
Yeah.
And but only to them. I just tell them. Or maybe I've just told God knows how many.
You just told loads of people.
The ducklings are always like, we won't tell Auntie if you tell us. What have you got coming next? So adding this bit of not flash gel, this cat eye on top just gives it another little dimension. Right, so then we're going to go on with clear acrylic. So on the thumb, we're going to create this kind of like double smile line. So with this sort of section here is going to be like another smile line, but obviously it's a different colour because we have got that tealy blue there. So yeah, I like doing this. It's a bit time consuming, but the payoff is worth it because it looks really cool. So you've got your clear on top so you can see the colour through. And because it's a 3D French, the 3D French is, that illusion is created by putting the gel polish up to that wall of product. So what the wall of product I'm talking about is the burlesque colour, which is the natural colour at the back, that sort of, that natural cover pink. So once you put the product up to that, you kind of create this kind of step, and this step creates this shadow, and it looks so cool. I love doing a 3D French.
So going back to the client thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've just said that this takes a long time.
Yeah.
This kind of design. What advice would you give for people for like sort of maybe charging or setting aside the right amount of time for it?
So bespoke clients, for me, I block out a 4-hour appointment because I don't want to be rushed. I want to do a full consultation. I want to sketch the design out. I want to make sure my client's completely happy so they get a great experience with me. So I book out 4 hours.
Right.
And that's over £200.
Yeah.
235, something, I can't remember off the top of my head.
I saw somebody completely underselling themselves the other day. She posted on this Facebook page, and you know, like I can't remember the price, but I'm sure it was like under 20 quid for a set.
Oh my God.
And I was just like,
that's crazy.
What are you doing?
That's crazy.
Like, even if you knew.
Yeah, even if you're a newbie, then make sure, and you just want to practice on friends and family, just get them to pay enough to cover your cost of your product. That's a good starting point. And then when you start out doing nails, you need to think about how much do you want to earn an hour, and how much are you going to value yourself? What are you valued at? And you need to value yourself. You've done training, you know, you've gone and got qualified. You know, you have to think about all these different things. You'll notice that the smile lines on these nails are Chevron as well. So they are not like a full sort of smile line, like a curved line. We filed them into a chevron. So we've got like sort of these straight sides that go into a point. And then we're going to encapsulate the gel polish at the end with clear. Once you've encapsulated your gel polish designs, we are then going to use the purple Swarovski ceramic bit to just, you know, eat through that a little bit. Now, what you'll do is, because this is a 3D French nail, you'll need to hit the product. And when I say hit the product, you kind of file through into that gel polish colour. And I'm not talking about the bottom surface. I'm talking about that in that smile line area. Do you know when I was talking about you put the gel polish right up onto that sort of ledge or wall of cover pink product? That is where you'll hit the colour. So you want to hit the colour, and then you know that that part is going to be super bright. It's going to create that sort of 3D French look. Obviously you don't want to file through to the colour on the lateral length of the nail, because then you'd have no colour left, and we've encapsulated it in clear. But it is all about keeping the structure as well. So I tend to do the same filing routine on all the nails, which will give you a uniform look as well.
It's funny because when I first looked at the last image for this video, I thought there was gel polish. Like
what, the whole design?
Yeah. because
Oh.
it was quite shocking for us to see that you've encapsulated. So the design is underneath, and then you've got clear. I mean, it just shows how clear that clear really is. Because honestly, it looked like the color was on the top.
On the top, yeah,
Yeah,
that's mad, isn't it? That's
yeah.
crazy.
I mean, you can see even there where you're
Yeah,
leaning over, and that's before you've put a top coat on them.
yeah. So on the nails that have just got the burlesque colour on them, we are going to use that same colour, that Kamila colour, and create 2 layers, curing between each layer, and then we're going to do a bit of design on top of those. We're also going to top coat the other nails because they're done. They look cute. We're going to top coat your Kamila colour. I swear at this stage, I've got a feeling that I was thinking, what else does this nail need? Now I'm going to use the colour Mercury. Now, if you want a silver that you can paint with, Mercury is the colour. It's so pigmented and you can do fine detail work with this colour. It's super sparkly but super pigmented. And I'm going to paint my favourite thing. Clearly, I'm on the filigree hype. Clearly, because I feel like I'm, bashing a filigree set out at every given moment. So you kind of start out with this S shape and then you kind of build onto that S shape to create the filigree. But that S shape's a really good starting point. So I'm using the Lily Liner brush, which is the perfect brush to create this kind of look with, because it'll kind of move because it's long enough, but you still have control of it because it's still short enough. So we're going to do that onto those full colour nails. And once you've created that design, obviously that needs to be sealed in. So you're going to top coat them. Now, the reason that I'm buffing this sort of like cuticle area of these nails is because what am I going to do next? I'm clearly going to add bling. And I want the gem gel to like really attach. So I don't want to put gel on top of a shiny surface, because gel on top of a shiny surface, it's not going to last forever. So we're going to put this on, and then we're going to put these gorgeous crystals on. I love these teal crystals. These are like my mum's favourite kind of colour crystal. And even like the AB, I love an AB crystal because an AB crystal will sort of go with anything. So even putting a colour next to that will still look cool, because that AB crystal has that rainbow like effect. And we've actually used like a skull in the centre. It's a skull crystal. How cool is that? Totally my jam.
AB stands for Aurora Borealis, yeah?
It does stand for Aurora Borealis.
Okay.
That's what AB stands for. And so if you see any crystals and they say AB, then it means Aurora Borealis, that sort of rainbow shifting, gorgeous effect that they have on them. They are my fave, for sure. I would pick them over anything. If I was on a desert island and I needed to take some crystals with me, they would definitely be AB crystals, because they just go with every set of nail. By putting these crystals around the skull as well, not only does it look gorgeous, it will actually create protection for the skull, because when that skull's got edges, it could easily flick off. It's a pick and flick zone, as we used to say in college. A pick and flick, I know. Strange. Come up with some weird sayings in college. Yeah, so having the smaller crystals around the outside of it actually protects it. It frames it aesthetically and gives it a great look. but it actually helps with the longevity as well. And then we're going to clearly add some more onto the filigree because it's not enough crystals, and I'm clearly getting a bit excited with the crystals. I'm like,
Is this the client's choice or is this your choice?
possibly mine. I think it might have been me that might have forced her hand into having more crystals. But to be honest, once the client sees the crystals go on, they kind of like get filled with dopamine, and they're like, "Yeah, my God, it looks so cool! Oh my God, yes, more! Let's have more!" Because they want more of that feeling. So then I'm going to top coat and make sure that the glossy top coat butts up to the crystals, so it kisses the crystals, so it doesn't go over the top and I don't miss them completely. I just catch the edges of those crystals, and what it'll do, it'll create even more longevity as well, and everything will last. So there you are. I love them. They're gorgeous. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram and all that shebang. Everything I've used today is going to be listed below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ta-da! Oh, because